this group is just like every other group, like collaborating and communicating the and sharing the knowledge regarding the site, what is happening inside the Sitecore ecosystem. I think collaborate here is the main agenda of this group. And today's topic is about getting to know SitecoreAI Pathway, so the new way to migrate to XM Cloud. And so we have Nimia Jayakumar with us, who is going to present this session, which is more on about instead of going with the traditional migration from XM to XM Cloud to using the cloud migration tool. So we have Nimia Jayakumar is going to explain some new way to migrating that, which makes us easier. So I think we're currently excited to uh, move forward with the session. And thank you once again for joining this event today. Vijay Kumar, uh, the floor is yours. Please go ahead and take.
Thank you, team. Let me share my screen.
Yeah, we are seeing this video.
Good. Hey everyone. Good morning, first of all, and welcome to today's session at the Psycho User Group Coimbatore. I'm really excited to be here and to present about the new Psycho AI pathway that Psycho has released some time back. And this topic is purely about just getting to know about what Psycho AI pathway, and it's basically a new type of way to migrate to the XM cloud, which is nothing but the Psycho AI now. That this is an app I have been exploring recently. I wanted to share what I learned the recent time, and maybe whatever the feedback that you have, and what are the questions that you can let me know, and I will keep you updated as well. Quick introduction. My name is Nehemiah Jayakumar. I'm a psycho architect at Cloud IQ Technologies. I've been a psycho technology MVP since 2021, and I blog about psycho in my blog. I just wanted to keep you upfront about something. I'm not presenting as an expert on the psycho AI pathway. I'm starting to explore. So I'm just telling what are the information that I learned when I did a hands-on with some of the test sites and everything. So I'm still exploring it, and we are going to learn with some basic ideas in this session, and we can explore further and to understand what deep into this the topic if you have a hands-on as well. So here is what we will cover. We'll start with Psycho AI Pathway, what it is, its key features, and how it works. Then we'll cover the two migration paths they offer. The one is a Psycho XM migration path, and another one is any website using their web crawling technology. So we will wrap up with some of the key takeaways and things to consider, and also we'll be having a time for the Q&A as well. And what is Psycho AI Pathway? So it is an AI-powered content migration tool or app which is available on the Sitecore Cloud Portal as a marketplace app. It helps to migrate the content from a traditional Psycho XM site or XP, or even from any sort of public website into a Psycho AI. The AI automation extraction, it involves extractions, mapping, and the migration. And Psycho says it reduces the migration time by 70%. And during the beta testing, they said they migrated 100,000 of pages using this particular app. You have the two source options. One is a structured extraction from an existing Psycho XM site. Another one is on HTML scraping from any website. We'll see both today. We'll give you a quick demo walkthrough using screenshots on how to set it up, how to handle it for both the flow as well in this session. Important note for those who familiar with XM to XM Cloud migration tool, which was there from 2022. That tool is limited as a in-assets migration tool. It's just whatever there in the current website, only on the XM side, it can migrate over Psycho AI. So it is basically assets migration tool, but this tool is more than that. It has some sort of transformation, some sort of mapping between the pages, mapping between the components, and also uh, the page setup can be done with this tool as well. And it is newly AI based, so it has some sort of reasoning is inbuilt, so that whatever the system that has a source data, what is the system that has a target structure, it can map and migrate the content. So what are the key features on their Psycho AI? So first, it's AI powered page classification. So Pathway automatically analyzes the source pages and groups them into similar category, and then reduces the repetitive work. Um, One important thing to notice, this is not going to migrate your site from current instance to the Psycho AI automatically, in the sense that you need to have a target Psycho AI system already, like your pages, your your target templates, and also your component templates and your page presentation. Everything should be pre-built by any sort of developers. They have to ready in the target system. And this tool is going to help you to map the source system and then migrate it. So we'll talk about all those advantages and some of the disadvantages in the later stage, but this basically is going to help you to group it from the source pages perspective. And based on the pages, it is going to find out the target template and then it is going to migrate that. And it also has an intelligent component mapping. So AI suggests how a source component template matches with the target template as well. And it supports both Psycho websites and any website. And the fourth one is basically the real-time migration dashboard. Since it's a marketplace app, you have a dashboard in the Psycho portal where you can see the real-time information of what's happening in each step of your migration as well. And it also has a comprehensive content audit. It gives visibility of what your source content and where it's going to be migrated. It's going to give you a quick visibility as well. Okay, on a high level, how it works, right? So Pathway follows the 6 steps in my perspective. So one is you have to install your marketplace app, which is available in your cloud portal. One important thing to note is Pathway is available for all the Psycho 360 customers. I'm not sure about like who else or can access that one, but as of now, from Psycho perspective, whoever has access to the Psycho 360 and they can access this app. So you can create a migration, select your type of migration, whether it is a source is XM site or any website, and then you can configure your target. Target is nothing but your target Psycho AI platform where you have all the things readily available from the page template perspective, components, everything should be available already. And then you can run a content audit with the Psycho AI, which classifies the source system, and then it maps your content with some AI suggested components mapping. So finally, run the migration with real-time monitoring as well. It's a basic wizard type of flow. You have multiple steps to do that, and it has a clear way of okay, what is next, what is expected from us, and what is going to do. It is going to clearly explain you in the flow as well. So there are, as I said, there are two migration paths. So we are going to cover both in this session. So first one is migrating your current Psycho XM or XP site, which is specifically for the current Psycho customers. So you use some sort of tool which is provided by the Psycho itself. It's called XM component extraction. So this kind of tool which extracts your source data and pushes into the Azure Blob Storage. And even the Azure Blob Storage information will be also provided by Sitecore for each migration. So we don't need to manage it. You don't need to have it, but it actually provided by the Sitecore as well. And then Pathway groups the pages by source templates. Based on the page templates, it's going to group it. And also to run this tool, it needs .NET 9.0 and also the PowerShell. And also you should have a full CM access as well. And any site, the next one is any site path uses Pathways built-in web crawler. It's basically more like a search engine. It's going to crawl a site, get your HTML, and then intelligently find out what is your best target template based on the whatever which is available, and it is going to map it. So it does not need your any sort of Azure setup needed because it's just going to scrape it and map it. So you don't need a Azure blob storage like the XM site migration path. So you have to just provide your URL or a sitemap link, and the grouping will be based on the page designs and the HTML structure that when they are crawling it. So one important thing, both share the common prerequisite. So what does that mean is, I'm just telling again, is basically your target Psycho AI structure mostly should be available so that the mapping can be done by the AI. One important to notice from a Psycho migration flow perspective, your media items, what are the media items which are required for in the target system, it has to be migrated upfront. So what it will happen is from the source system, it will have a grid for your media item, right? So it will use a grid and then configure it in the target system as well. So the same media item with the same grid should be available in your target Psycho AI as well, so that the mapping can be done and your image also will be resolved properly as well. So you need to have that done. So you can use your XM to XM Cloud migration tool for that purpose. Or maybe you can also use the PowerShell scripts or maybe any sort of packages or anything that you can also use that. So coming to the installation, right? So installing Pathway is very straightforward. So you just go to your Sitecore Cloud Portal, navigate to the marketplace, and then you can find the Pathway. So Pathway, if, as I told you, it should be a Psycho 360 customer, or maybe if you have got it by in another way, then you should be able to see that in the marketplace app. As you can see the screenshot, you can click install, and then you have to select the environment which you're going to install. Like if you have multiple environments, you have an option to install it in specific app. Maybe if you want to do it only in your dev environment, you can install it in your dev installation only. So once done, so the pathway appears installed, and then in the home page, you'll be having the pathway installed and the icon will be there. And once you click on it, you can start, you'll be landing into the marketplace app. So that's where you can click on the migration, new migration, which is going to show you, okay, there are two ways and what option that you want to choose. So we'll go through that in the upcoming slides. All right. Okay, let's get into the first option, so which is basically the Psycho website migration, right? So migrating from the existing Psycho website. So this path is mostly interested if you're in a Psycho customer and if you want to migrate a existing Psycho site. So first up is you select Psycho website as your source and you give your migration name and description. And before you get there, there are some prerequisites. As I told you, your target Psycho AI structure should be there. We'll come to that. And then in the next screen, once you click on that, you'll be landing into three different sections. So one is you have to have your Psycho AI site ready. So you should be able to select what kind of environment it is, once you select the environment, it is going to show you pre-populate all your files which are available on that particular environment. And then you're going to provide a site path, which is going to be there. And once you click on initial migration, that particular section is going to be grayed out and you can modify it. And then the next section will be enabled, which is basically your source system and the target system information. And coming to that, right? So if you can see here in the second section, so we'll be having talking about the first the target system, right? So target system, it's we need to tell the pathway. This is my target. These are my page templates. These are my components. These are my presentation renderings, and these are my component templates, right? So we have to tell the pathway upfront to know, okay, these are my information on my target system. It has to tell that. So for that reason, so what, um, yeah, I think what they provided, they want us to provide a JSON file with all the information. So to create the JSON file, they provided a particular tool called CMS export structure, and I provided a extract of the particular zip file, which is having a PowerShell, and it also has instruction on how to handle it. So getting that information is it's a bit of work for us. Like if you ask me, like why can't they do it easily? Like, but what as of now, this tool is they are asking us to create that in a format. For that, so what you have to do it is I will show you in a way that okay, how to create that particular JSON file, right? So first and foremost thing, you go to your target Psycho AI. So you just need only the structure. Again, you not need any sort of uh, page data from your SitecoreAI perspective. You just really need only the structure of it. So in your target system in SitecoreAI, you go to go to the template rendering component templates presentation. Get a Psycho package. Okay, once you create a package, you download that and you extract the package zip file. Okay, so once extracted, you can see your folder structure where you will be seeing a GUID like GUID names with the particular all the YAML like all the serialized files. So you copy that particular folder. Okay, copy the folder and also sub items everything and place in each and every section. If it is a component, put in the component folder. If it is a page template, put in the page template. If it is a presentation, put in the presentation and also renderings. On the same folder, place the PowerShell script that they provided as well. Okay, so basically we're trying to get all the structure, put everything in the folder and the PowerShell script. Once that is ready, so you execute the PowerShell script. You just simply say export structure PowerShell, which is going to read the serialized files and then just going to generate a JSON file, something like this. Basically it's extracting the information from a serialized files and it is going to formatting a file into a information file for the Sitecore AI pathway. This is a sample which is going to give you all the information. Okay, this is on the target site. Okay, and then once you got the JSON file, you go and upload that JSON file, and then it will accept that information. So now the second step is to get your source psycho data. So as I was mentioning that earlier, so they need a they need us to get the source data and push it into a Psycho um, Azure blob storage. So they also generate a particular unique blob storage where you will be able to push the data with a particular tool that they provide. So as you can see in the screenshot, they also give read instructions here, which when you click on it, you will be able to download a package, extraction package. So when you download the package, there are two things are there in the particular package. There is one is a handler file, extractor handler dot ASHX, which you have to copy that and put it in your admin folder. We do not need to put it in the root folder. we have to put it in this Psycho slash admin folder. Okay, that's the first thing. And second thing, they also have a, console app which is built on .NET 9.0. So they are, which is going to be used to copy that, which is going to call the handler, which extract it and then push it into the Azure Blob Storage. Okay. And one important thing is, there is a prerequisite. So you need to have your security policy updated to service on policy. So whenever you update it, it is going to grant access to all the entities and services for the handler to handle it. So that is a prerequisite. And from a security standpoint, once this work is completed, you have to go back to your original services local on service policy. Okay. And once you copy the file in the handler file to your admin folder, actually you can verify whether the handler is working fine or not. So you just call psycho slash admin slash extra handler and then action get all site names. So which is going to export a list of sites which are available on your current site, CM site, which will be making sure that your service on policy is enabled properly and your handler is working properly. It is going to expose and show everything to you at that time. Okay. And then once that happens, so you have to execute the particular console application. So you have to say, okay, um, the console application, and you have to provide your CM host name and your username and password and the provided upload URL, which is basically Azure Blob Storage. So once you do that, it will ask you to enter what site you're going to migrate and then in what language that you're going to migrate. So I'll just give you an example here. So if you can see here, so I just provide the same host name, admin password, and then upload URL. And then it asks me what is the website that you are going to migrate. Since I had only a test website, it's just only one. But if you have multiple websites, you will be able to choose which website you are going to do it. So SitecoreAI Pathway does not have a way to migrate all websites at the same time. It has an ability to do one at a time. So it just choose one website and also the one language at a time. So once you select that, it will start processing it. It will create a JSON file for each of your content, and then it pushes to the Azure Blob Storage. Okay. So now, so what happens? So this is basically we got your target system structure, and we also has the source psycho data, which is again pushed to the Azure Blob Storage. At this time, there is no dependency from hereafter on the Psycho CM side. So we don't need to be connected to the system. And basically now it is at the hands of the Psycho AI to manage it, compare it, find out which is the right template, and then migrate it. So coming to the next set of steps, right? Next set of step is on the AI perspective. Now we will get to the AI powered steps. So we elect the Psycho AI pathway to the content auditing. So what happens is it gets the source Psycho data, it groups it first based on your page templates, right? And then it groups into a one content, and then it keep it here. And what's the advantage of it is like let's say if you have a page template which is spread out in multiple places, what this particular grouping will do, it is groups into a single package, and then it will, when it is trying to find out what is the right template in the target system, it is going to group, combine everything and moves everything into from the particular group to the target system. So that is advantage of your grouping, and it reduces a lot of repetitive work in this place. And then it runs the template mapping. So it is able to, based on your source system, it is going to map what is the target template as well. So as you can see, this is a grouping, and so this is a test migration that I did, but it is able to group the pages, and then it's able to select the template that it is going to be used for the migration. Okay. And once that the first step is done, then the second is on the components. So it is going to compare your source component template with the target component template. So, so it is going to be done for that particular group. So for each group, what is your source component template, and then it's going to do that. So and then so as I told you, the target system component should be available for that. So based on that, it is going to compare and it will tell you, okay, this is the component right fit for your existing component. Okay. So once that stuff is done, then you click on the migration, then it will do the actual migration here. And it is going to tell you, okay, what are the pages which are good, which are migrated, what are the pages which are like which hasn't failed. So it is like based on your number of pages which are available in your system, it is going to show that. Like in my test, like I was having some issue with some of the page templates, it was not able to migrate, but this is how it is going to be shown if you have a right templates and right components. Okay, so coming to the next set of migration, which is basically the any site migration. So you don't have to be in the Sitecore, you can just be any sort of um, WordPress or Contentful or whatever that site that you can have it, and then this particular pathway you'll be able to scrape the HTML, and it is going to migrate the pages as well. So for this one, I tested with my own blog, which is on the Blogger site. So I'll just show you how it has happened and what are the limitations on this new migration type. Okay. So for this path, any site migration, you have to provide what is the website URL. So you can enter your direct link, or you can also provide your sitemap XML. So I use my own blog here. So the prerequisites are simple here. So website must be publicly accessible. So if you're behind a firewall, so make sure you whitelist with your crawler's IP. So if you want to know the crawler's IP, I do not know. So you may need to reach out to Sitecore to understand what kind of what are the IPs so that you can whitelist those IPs on your source system. And also the site needs to be have a valid sitemap XML. So because the crawler used to discover the pages, and the best part is you don't need a Azure blob storage here because it is doing at the crawler level. It captures your HTML, so you don't need to have the extraction tool for you to get the content from a source system to the target system. Okay, and so we can see here, so the theme on the from a target perspective, it is basically the same. It is the same Psycho AI system, and then you'll be able to see another screenshot which I'm going to show you. Okay, this is a screenshot. So basically, you provide the same JSON file, and then you have an option to initiate the crawling. Okay, and what if the particular crawler IPs have access to your system, it is going to crawl you and crawl that, and then it will get the HTML for you. Okay, and this is basically a beta version of your crawling logic. So they have a limitation of crawling only 50 pages at this time. So to note that, so what is this a limitation? So what is the idea is like make sure you have your sitemap XML limited, or maybe you can create complete a separate sitemap XML just for your migration, and then keep it with you. So that you don't need to cross a limit and avoid migrating like any sort of multiple pages there. So this is a beta version. I don't know what is Psycho's idea, like how many pages can be migrated at a time from enterprise level perspective. So maybe we'll get more details in the upcoming months. Okay. So once you click on crawling, it is going to crawl that, and then the same idea happens here. It is going to crawl it based on the page designs. It is going to group. So once it is grouped, then it is going to map the target template. And once it is target template mapped, and basically the next step is the component mapping. So it is going to, based on the page design perspective, it is going to map your components which are available from SitecoreAI component perspective. I'll go to the next slide. If you can see here, the same thing. I just created the initialize the migration, and then the JSON file has been created. And also I started web crawling, that also has been completed. So as I said, it is a 50 pages. So it is going to grouping it. It is going to analyze the HTML. So since I ran it on my Psycho blog, so based on my blog title, and also the page design, it was able to group it, and it was able to give me an information reasoning that okay, why the AI chose a particular template also there. So I show you here. This is a grouping. And when I click on this particular information icon, it is going to show okay, what is the reason behind the particular template choosing, right? So since I had only one template, it was able to reason that okay, this is the only template that you have, so I'm going to use the template. But if you have multiple templates, so it is going to reason it based on the template fields and everything. It is going to show you why it has chosen that. Okay. And it also, from the component perspective, it is going to do that. And then once I click on the migrate, it is going to migrate all the pages. So as you can see in the screen, it migrated my first 50 articles, since there is a limit on the number of pages to be crawled. So I have more, but still it was able to crawl only the 50 pages. And you can see the success. And then in the Sitecore content tree perspective, you can see the particular article has been migrated as well. So since the blogger handles everything by year, month, so it was also able to get that and then migrate as is in the target system as well. And you can also see the name, right? So it was able to migrate with a name which is specifically for the psycho perspective. No special characters, nothing. It was able to handle it everything properly from the item name creation as well. Okay. So some of the key takeaways, right? Psycho AI is a new recommended migration pathway to the XM Cloud. The previous tool that we had is basically as-is migration. It was just able to copy the content from the source system to the target system as-is. So it was not doing any sort of transformation. But this tool is helping us to do some sort of transformation in between. But there are some flexible options that are available. It has a way to move the structured Sitecore extraction or web scraping from any sort of public website. And this AI-powered page grouping is a game changer, right? So it reduces a repetitive migration, which usually is a pain point. Like if you have thousands of articles, so you don't need to do it manually. You can let the tool to handle it. Okay, this is the template, this is the path. Just migrate to the target system. It will be able to handle it. So one of the prerequisite is media items. As I told you, media items should be ready in the target system so that all the links will work as in from the migration perspective. And Psycho positions pathway as a way for moving the customers from the XM and XP to the Psycho AI. So they claim that it reduces the migration by 70% through this automation. So from my own experience, yeah, it is really helpful for the grouping and also serves save some sort of repetitive work, right? Instead of creating those pages manually, it was able to do that. But some sort of realistic way, like you have to plan that because you have to make sure you have a proper prerequisite setup is should be there. Like your what is your target pages, what are templates, what are the fields, and what's the field names. So everything should be there. So there's some sort of a planning is needed before we actually do that work. It is not just like you can just bring this tool, get a site, just migrate. It's not possible. Like you need to have your target Psycho AI system ready. Then you can use a pathway for your repetitive work. Okay. So some of the things to consider. So one of the biggest challenge I would say the prerequisite setup. So that's a bit complex. Um, like you have to get your packages, extract the content, and then push it to the Azure blob storage. It's a bit of work if you ask me. So in the XM to XM Cloud migration tool, they were able to have an option of selecting a tree, and you have to choose an option. Okay, what pages, what template, what are the things that you want to migrate. Everything can be chosen as a tree as well in the tool. Maybe Psycho, maybe moving into the direction in the future to avoid this prerequisite setup. As of now, the way is like you have to do it manually in your system and then push it to the Azure blob storage on the AI mapping, right? So reasoning is available. Like you can see why AI chose certain page templates than the other. It has some sort of transparency, right? From a customization perspective, right? There is no way for us to tell, okay, AI, okay, you follow this one. These are the product pages. These are not blog posts. So use this template. There's no way for us to tell that because we are the system owners who know the end to end of your our ecosystem, and we know what is your target templates, what's the component, what's the template. We do not have a way for us to tell AI, okay, these are the page templates, it has to go to this page template. These are the components, this has to go to this page component. There's no way for us to instruct the AI. So because that way it will help us to have a like clean shot of okay, this is a page template, go here, we can tell it. As of now, it's not available. Like we have to let AI, the current system, to handle it on their own. So that is one of the bottleneck in my perspective. So there should be a way for us to tell some sort of instruction for the AI so that we can have some sort of improvement in their migration results as well. And web crawling, right? Web crawling at a scale is open question. So we tested it to 50 pages because that's the only limitation that we have. What if from enterprise perspective, there's a huge amount of pages? How good it will be? How much time it will take for the web crawling to happen? And there's a limitation there. Okay, the pages which are rendered with the JavaScript, like some sort of a React JS, React files, or maybe a Next.js sites, this particular crawler may not be able to handle every information. So that's a limitation, right? So how to handle that? And also from a multilingual perspective, um, you need to run this tool for each language at this time. How can we run it for a multi-lingual site at a single migration perspective? As of now, it's not possible. From enterprise perspective, there are cases that they have a like 50 to 60 languages at a time, right? We don't need to we it's not possible for us to run the migration for every language. It'll be tedious problem. So how to handle that? How can we improve that by supporting the multilinguals? That maybe Psycho may be working on that. As you see, this app is still evolving. And one thing which I felt is rerunning. Let's say if you have some issue and if you see a page is not migrated, right? So there is no way for us to rerun the migration again. You have to start again. You have to create a new migration, and then you have to provide all the information, and then you have to start a migration. So that's a bit of work for me in my perspective. So I know this particular tool is not going to give you a pixel perfect from source system target system, but some sort of customization, if you bring it in, it is going to improve your efficiency and also your quality of your migration as well. Okay. And some of the documents which you can see, these are documents which you can refer about this tool. And from the documentation on this tool perspective, there's no clear documentation as of now, since it is not in a fully like available to all the users, available only for the 360 customers. But I think once Psycho makes it more a useful tool hereafter, maybe they will be putting it to the document side as well. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to bring it in. I just want to open the forum here. Like, if you have any questions, let me know. Even if I'm not able to answer, I will try to get that answer offline. But I'm open for questions right now.
So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. You can use the chat window as well if you're not able to unmute it. Yes, Praveen.
Yeah. So, I mean, thanks for this session first. Okay, now when you said about this migration and all, how about the digital assets and all, right? Is it only with respect to the content migration, or it will also migrate the automatically migrate the digital assets or whatever the information is available in the media library?
Yeah, no, I think there is a prerequisite that like all the media items has to be migrated upfront in a different way. Maybe you can get a package and move it all the
Okay.
record files to the Psycho AI. This particular tool itself is not going to migrate your media files. So that's a prerequisite that you have to push your media file to the target system upfront.
So does it safe to understand, like, I mean, only the content will get it extracted, maybe in a JSON format or something, and it will be available, or it will be able, we will be able to use that one to migrate into the target one?
Yeah, exactly. Your understanding is
Okay,
correct.
thanks. Uh, the another question is from my side. Okay, if somebody wants to ask, please go ahead. Otherwise, I will go ahead.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
think you can ask.
Okay, so the next one you said about from any public sites also, I mean, we would be able to do that one. So, so I mean, is it possible from any other CMS platform we would be able to migrate that rather than public website means, I mean, we just wanted to really understand when you say it's a public website. So maybe it's from kind of a AEM or Optimizely or something. If I
yeah,
wanted to migrate it from these two other platform to the Sitecore one, will it fall under the same category of the public website, or we
yeah.
need to consider that one into something different?
No, as of now, it is considered a public site. So if you can see, like I can put any website here as long as it is available publicly
Mhm.
and your firewall does not have any sort of restriction on the web crawlers. So if it is possible, any site is possible, like WordPress or anything is possible. So even the AEM or anything is possible here. And if you ask me from a more of that, like it's going to scrap your site. So it does not matter whether it's built on Sitecore or it's built on WordPress or AEM. So it's going to scrap it and then it's going to format based on your available page templates in the Sitecore AI.
Okay.
Any other questions from anyone?
I have another question, Simon, if you allow me to.
Yeah, you can feel free to ask.
Now, you said like that, I mean, as is migration, right? So we know that when if it is a as is migration, it's very easy, right? Because the structure from your current website and the destination website will remain as it is, right? But then, I mean, if any changes in terms of the target one, right? Let's assume that in a home page of my the current website is having 5 sections, and the target some modification has been done there and added a couple of new sections, or maybe moved some of the section from my one of the template to another one. So what challenges and what exactly the what you can how exactly you guys have done this kind of a migration, if you can provide a little bit details on that one.
Yeah, so first and foremost thing, I have not done any migration with this tool, but this is just my learning experience. I'm just want to share how it's being done. But from a page perspective, right? So
Mhm.
from a from a source page perspective, let's say you said 5 sections there, and in the target page, it may be different. So it is not like that. So basically, what's going to happen here is your source page has a 5 section, right? And it may be built with a Sitecore MVC with some sort of template.
Yeah.
And your target system is basically maybe an XJS with all sort of templates and everything. And the components may be a little bit different, your template may be a little bit different. But what this tool is going to help you is from a source system, but let's say if it's 5 section and each section is maybe a feature bar component. And if your target system also has a similar component with a similar template, it is going to migrate. Okay, for this page, I need to have 5 feature bar component in the Psycho AI once it is migrated. So when it migrates the content as well as it adds those components to those pages. It also sets the data source with that particular content, and it sets that. It is not going to, okay, in the source system has 5, the target system should be having only 2. You cannot define that. Like there's no way for us to define that. It's whatever there in your content structure is going to be there. Only the components, what templates to use based on your new data model, it is going to map. So if you're thinking from a digital transformation perspective, like I have a site and the new site is completely different and it has a new type of data, that kind of transformation it is not possible here. Like it's not going to help you here. Like it's basically this is only for repetitive work. For example, say if you have thousands of like hundreds of thousands of article detail page, maybe article detail page, right? You
Yeah.
don't need to have some sort of a developer or some sort of a guide to migrate each and everything and do that. Like that's where it's going to help you. Like some sort of avoiding repetitive work. For any sort of
Yeah.
transformation, it is on you. It's purely on you. Like this tool is not going to help you there.
Yeah. Okay. One more, with
Yeah.
respect to this, so one is the content perspective, another one is the digital asset. Now, the third one with respect to the rules, what exactly the personalization rules we have set up in the or old system, or workflows or anything. So that will happen via building a pack, creating the package and then importing that into the new system. Is my understanding is correct?
Yeah, I think if you have some certain rules, yeah, that is completely different. Like it is not going to handle. This tool is not going to help you there. So you have to manually do that either with a package or some other way. And even if the page also has some sort of rules, this
Mhm.
tool is not going to handle that. It is going to ignore
Okay.
it.
So
So
it is.
those are the limitations. Yeah, those are the limitations I would say. But we do not know. Maybe Psycho may be working on some sort of solution to handle it, but as of now, it is not possible.
The reason behind asking this question because our sales team will go and they will give the kind of a wrong commitment to the customer and they will say like that we will save you a 70% time 50% time using these things, but then they really don't understand this kind of all the glitches and all which we need to do it is kind of a manual way or something. That's what I just asked that
Yeah.
question.
So as I would tell you, like this is going to reduce migration only from a repetitive perspective. It's
Correct.
not going to help you in a way that okay, I have a website, do that in the Psycho way. No, it is not going to do that. Of course, it is going to do it. There'll be a lot of errors. But my perspective is like you need to have a concrete Psycho AI system already with
Yeah.
pre-built with all the page templates, everything. And yeah, this tool is going to help you to just group a set of page templates based on your page templates based on style, and it is going
Mhm.
to migrate your target page templates, adding the components, adding the component templates, those kind of things that it can help you. But yeah, so I would say this app is still evolving. I'm curious to know how Psycho is handling it because this is one of a critical bottleneck for Psycho customers, right? Because migrating to Psycho AI is kind of a rebuild, and many people do not want to take that much time. So that's the reason why they built it. I hope they are invest further on this one.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for giving all the answers for my questions. Thank you very much. Yeah.
So any questions from anyone? If anyone of your guys has any questions, please do reach out to Namia Jaikmar or LinkedIn. So he will reply for your questions. And thanks, Namia, for getting into the call like mid of your night. That's too early for you. And thank you so much for getting into the call. And the session was so informative about how the traditional migration being replaced with the current migration strategy. So thank you so much for your time. Thanks Orion for your time for joining the call.
Thank you,
Thank
guys. Thank
you.
you, everyone.
Thank you, Jaikmar. Thanks for joining with us. Thanks, everyone.